Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am super excited this week here on Dyad and the Force. We are talking about the Rising Storm. We got a nice little excerpt on StarWars.com. Please check it out if you haven't. We got some more details for War of the Bounty Hunters. We got Monster at Temple Peak. We got Darth Vader 11 preview. So we are going to be diving deep into it. There's a lot of awesome stuff. It's a great time to be a Star Wars fan. So stay tuned right here on Dyad and the Force.
Unseen for generations, a Dyad in the Force.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 25 of Dyad in the Force Live. Big shout out to people who are in the chat right now. Let's start from the very top. We have Darth Vader, the Wide 123, Carter Dibert, or Dilbert, Cal 4, Southside Bones, Cart 2, Deet 2. Did I just say Deet? Cart 2, D2, Jupiter, Trip 7s, Ace Bronx, Mentally Ill Sith Lord. What's up, Jesse? Harith Productions is here. Star Wars Corner is here. Let's see, Darth Not Vader, Heather Collins, Ace Bronx, X-Core Gamer Skills, Han Talks First. Ooh, that's a nice that's a nice name.
I actually had an awesome conversation earlier today with Han Talks First. He has his own podcast and show. Wanted to make sure to shout him out because he's a cool dude. Hopefully we can have him here on Dyad soon.
Absolutely. Brian with the beard, what's up? Yeah, that is everybody. So we are now. I didn't exactly have time to read this excerpt that they released, so we're gonna have to read it as a community. You guys are going to be experiencing my audiobook voice.
It's spoiler alert. It's lovely.
Yeah, but the crux of this episode is the true power of Palpatine, because I had some time to kind of skim over what the preview of the next issue of Darth Vader, and that it's a doozy, to say the least. But Julia Christine, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Tommy P, what's up? So let's get started with our first topic of the day. Let's transition to this exclusive excerpt from The Rising Storm, which is being written by Kevin Scott. And this one is obviously, of course, about Ty Yorick. And so let's read it as a community. Can y'all see this on the chat, on the stream? Is it clear or legible? Otherwise, just listen to my voice.
Also, I just had to say shout out to AJ in the chat, the SK Base, another awesome channel.
Yeah, what's up, AJ? All right, so this is from The Rising Storm, Kevin Scott. Will you help us? Ty Yorick had lost count of the times she had heard those words, usually delivered with a side order of pleading eyes and, more often than not, missing limbs. You had to be desperate to approach someone like Ty. The swamp farmers of Safrifa were desperate. They had found her repairing her ship on the edge of the bog fields, preparing to leave after a successful extraction operation where she had liberated the son of the local marsh lord from a rival clan. There had been blood and screaming. Always blood and screaming. Some of the gore still caked her armor, while the screams would linger when she finally fell into her cot that evening, even after taking Kikon root to help her sleep. That's new, isn't it, Kikon root?
Haven't heard of that before. Yeah.
In all honesty, she didn't mind the screams. They had been her companion for the best part of a decade, the one constant in her ever-changing life. The Novian ore she had received for the kid's safe return would come in handy. Her ship needed parts, and parts meant money. She knew an armorer on Kelduin, is that new? Jesus. Who would take the Novian off her hands, smelting it down to forge saw blades. Maybe she'd buy one herself. Less money for the ship. But her arsenal had been depleted after that botched job on Alzok 3. Criffing Hoopaloo, stealing half her stash. Other mercs would have tracked down the traitorous parrot and ripped the swarmy beak clear from his face, but Ty wasn't any other merc. Bad things happened, and you dealt with it. There was no point wasting time or effort on battles you didn't need to have, especially if no one was paying you. She had sensed the swamp farmers long before she had heard them slosh through the bog, sensed and assessed. They were no threat to merc or beast, no threat to anyone. Most Safrifans were scrawny little creatures with skin the color of stagnant water and hair that hung like pondweed in front of large oval eyes. They were industrious, though. Ingenious, too. Ty had trudged through one of their floating beds, a long, narrow plot of thick soil raised from the marsh water by mud and decaying vegetation to stop the roots of their cru-cru crops becoming waterlogged. The farm had stretched on for kilometers, each plot framed by willow trestles and surrounded by a network of narrow canals. At first glance, you would be forgiven for thinking that nothing could be grown here, but the Safrifans had proved otherwise. Resourceful and resilient. Ty liked that. Admired it even. And now they were here, waiting patiently to speak with her. It could only mean one thing. Nice ship, the warbling voice commented in broken basic. What it name? Doesn't have one, Ty replied in their native tongue. Not turning around from her work, the damn stabilizer was hanging on by a thread. You speak our language? The farmer asked, surprised. Enough to get by. She was lucky like that. It had always been the same. Ty picked up most languages quickly, a useful talent in her profession. Sometimes she let people know, at other times she kept quiet and listened. She had nothing to fear from these two, even as they dithered behind her, not knowing what to say now that their small talk had failed. She hadn't been lying, though. Her ship, a battered YT-750 freighter, didn't have a name, only a registry number logged in the Republic records. Several numbers, actually, depending on the job or employer. She didn't see the point of giving anything a name, ship, weapon, or even the droids that assisted her on missions, a sarcastic admin unit, and an admittedly useful astromech. Like the ship, they were tools, nothing more. Why form attachments to something that could never be attached to you? Maybe it was a throwback to her training. Maybe not. Ty just thought it was common sense. What do you want? She needed this conversation over. She had places to go, parts to buy. We have Novian. Not much, but enough. Enough for what? Instead of answering, the farmers offered a simple statement. It is killing our children. Ty stopped working, the all-kit tool dropping down from the exposed stabilizer core. What is? She asked, an air of resignation in her voice. A monster. A bad one. Was there any other kind? How long has it been happening? 3 weeks. We had laid traps, but it smashed them. It wrecks our plots, ruins the crops. How many? Crops? How many children? Doesn't matter. Correct answer. Finally, she turned, taking in the pathetic sight in front of her. They were little more than walking skeletons, skin stretched over prominent bones. The taller of the two, relatively speaking, lifted a leather pouch. We have Novian, he repeated. His companion hunched behind him, leaning heavily on a staff. Not much Novian, if the size of the bag was anything to go by. Hardly worth her time. It is killing our children. Where? In the Sorkin Swamp. 3 days. Hike from here. 1 if you have a skimmer. Do you have a skimmer? No. He looked at her and she looked at him. His companion looked at the marsh water, exhausted, without hope or expectation. Back in the day, she would have used a set of Verazine stones to make the decision, telling herself that she was leaving things to chance, to the will of the universe. One side of the stones was etched with moon symbols, the other suns. The process was simple enough. Throw them at the ground. Decide whether you were banking on more suns or moons, or let fate guide your way. She'd been taking more of an active role recently, choosing her own path instead of relying on the stones, and right now she knew that the job wasn't worth it. She would get back in the ship and blast off for Keldoween. It was the sensible thing to do, logical even. He needed to say the words, "Will you help us?" And there they were.
There's lots of love for your for your audiobook reading voice, which is very good. If you guys have not checked out Echoes of the Past, you can hear a lot more of it, as well as a full cast. So just a little plug.
Nice.
But
Let me.
What are the feelings in the chat? What did you guys think of the excerpt? I'm personally am super stoked for Ty York. I think she seems like a refreshing new type of character, someone that is kind of crossing the bridge between like bounty hunter and Jedi. Um, I don't know. I mean, how do you feel?
I like her disposition so far. You know, she reminds me so much of Zoe from Firefly already. And it kind of makes me like, because I would love to see Jenna Torres as a Jedi or a monster hunting Jedi. But I do want to catch up with the comments here. I did not realize that was going to be so long, but we have Han Talks first saying Monster Hunter. Absolutely. I don't think is this our first time with that career path in Star Wars?
Yeah, I don't know that they show up for career day at the Jedi Temple. I was picturing Geralt with a lightsaber strapped to his back, like, join us.
Yeah. Let's see here. Cartoon D2 says, Element, can you read my wedding vows for me? I don't know. How much you paying? Can Element just narrate my life? These comments mean a lot to me. Your voice made my dog fall asleep. I don't know.
Is that a compliment?
Yeah. I think your dog would just fall asleep, right? Just by ambience alone. Julia Christine says big samurai without a lord vibes. That's a very interesting point to mention. Ooh.
Star Wars Ronin.
Ooh. Is Ty York gonna give us like Rurouni Kenshin vibes? Like, is she going to like wander monster hunting and meet a found family that like really needs her help, and all of her monster hunting has to deal with them in some way, shape, or form? If you've seen Rurouni Kenshin, you know what I'm talking about. But what are your, wider implications or wider thoughts on Rising Storm? How does Stellan and Bell fit in all of this?
Yeah. I mean, we don't know, but they do have an uneasy relationship. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that the person taking the children is a Drengir, and that it's interesting because Ty doesn't have the backing of the Jedi Order. She doesn't have those seemingly limitless resources. So she has to choose who she's going to help, and she does have to be paid for it. Otherwise, she can't continue to help people. So that's going to be an interesting, part of the story. But I can see her investigating something, stumbling on the Drengir, and having the Jedi already looking for it. And now they have to team up and work together, which is going to force her to consider some demons from her past. Because from what we learned from the little cinematic thing, she just disappeared one day. They thought she was dead. They don't know why she left, and she's gonna have to come back and be open with that.
Yeah.
I really love how this is like kind of fleshing out. We always say is, but the cracks in the Jedi Order.
Yeah, it's interesting to think, or like, especially with her being a former Jedi. Do you think the Rising Storm is just gonna kind of like leave that for other ancillary media, or is Rising Storm gonna kind of talk about her time as a Jedi and what? Because I know in the synopsis for the book it talks about she used to be a Jedi, but then she left mysteriously. Do you think that mystery will be solved or revealed in the book, or do you think this is going to be an ongoing thing where, like, little nuggets are dropped here and there?
Oh, I think it's going to be revealed. I think it's going to be revealed. Um, do you? I mean, I guess my question to you though is: this excerpt is told from Tayorik's perspective. Are we going to do a lot of perspective shifting here? Are we going to? Is this book going to be more Light of the Jedi or more Into the Dark? Do you think?
Um, I highly doubt we're gonna get anything like Light of the Jedi again. I think Light of the Jedi had a very, very unique and specific task to kind of say, hey, here's the whole kitchen sink of the High Republic, and take from it what you will. But this is the staging area. This is our operating base, and everything else that arises from it, Into the Dark, A Test of Courage, in the High Republic comics and the High Republic Adventures, is just all, even though you don't need to read The Last Jedi, even though you don't have to read Light of the Jedi to understand them. If you had read Light of the Jedi, then you do kind of have that web or that foundation. And hey, Eggy in the chat. Eggy in the chat.
I was expecting more of a Eggy in the chat.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get another Light of the Jedi. I think this is, I mean, the cover alone, because Light of the Jedi's cover was just like everybody, right? And then we get Into the Dark with Affy and Wreath, and then Rising Storm has these three characters. I think it's going to concentrate on. I think it's going to concentrate on Stellan, Bell, and Tayorik. And judging from this excerpt, I think Tayorik is more prominent than necessary. Not necessary. What am I saying? More prominent than we're going to predict or realize. What's up, Logan Branchot? Are you from Montreal? That's an inside joke. I'm sorry. Connor, what's going on? Jack Brody, what's good? Theodore Calv, welcome to Dyad in the Force. We're talking about Rising Storm, the next book. We just read an excerpt, and now everybody wants me to read them their rights or something. Let's see here. My dog was just laying there staring at the screen. Then she just drifted off to sleep when you started narrating. Okay, I'll take it. That's a win in my book. Let's see here. Looks like this novel repeat the. Oh, was your comment based on this by Casher Yui? Looks like this novel will repeat the same issues as the last book, focusing on too many characters and damaging the story as a result. Ty seems cool though.
No, but the last book was Into the Dark, which I don't know. I don't think focused on too many characters personally, but to each their own.
Yeah. I certainly don't. I definitely think we're going to have a lot of passing ancillary characters that they meet along the way. But I think the book is going to be Ty, Stellan, and Bell. especially Bell. Oh, are we gonna get any kind of closure with Loden at all?
No, no.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get closure, but will we
Not
get
closure, but I don't think we're gonna get any details at all. I don't think
Oh,
he's gonna know anything.
that is disappointing. Although we may, and you might just be wrong.
I mean, that's true. That's also very, very possible.
Don't blame me if I put a bet down on it and then increase my chances of you being wrong. So let's do $10 on $10 on whether or not we'll see a mention of Loden's situation in Rising Storm.
Let's say details of his situation, not him saying, "Oh yeah, Loden's missing." You know what I mean? I'm not gonna take that as an L. But
Okay.
yeah, if we get any information, then yes.
Definitely. Okay. So it has to directly mention like where he is in his situation.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys can participate in this as well. You can DM me and Choco if you want. Let us know who which side you're on. Are you on the side of Loden Greatstorm getting more tidbits according to his situation or relevant to his situation? Sorry I'm not super active, listening and doing projects and making dinner. Do you, X-Core Gamer Skills, handle your business? Your business?
I mean, X-Core did say that he's not actually here. He's just using Simulfaturis. So
Okay.
Definitely possible. Hontox first said, "Did you guys know that the High Republic had their first team meeting in 2014?"
Yes. That was when Luminous was Luminous wasn't even announced until 16, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I didn't know.
I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know. I do know Hontox first had Christina Ariel on last week, and probably got some juicy tidbits.
Mm-hmm.
We'll try to catch up and get her on as well.
Yeah, she also said crazy to think about how much thought went into this. Absolutely. There's so many like High Republic tidbits in The Rise of Kylo Ren, and we just recently got a Nile ship and a Path engine in Afra 8, I believe.
Also, there's a bunch in Dooku Jedi Lost that I didn't even know about until I started rereading it. Now that I've seen it, like they arrive on the Ataraxia.
Mm-hmm.
They mention a Jedi with the last name Trennis as part of the Lost 20. So, you know, spoilers.
Does that? Yeah. Is it gonna tell us something? I don't. Do you think it's Kiev, or do you think it's descended from Kiev? These are things we must figure out, fellas. Fern, okay. Aggie's talking to Fern. We will not interject on that conversation. So has it been explained what happened to Elzar Mann in the end of Light of the Jedi? He just dropped with blood. No. We don't have an answer to that. We don't even know what his vision was about. But we will most likely get a continuation of that in the next phase. Oh. Gosh. Like thinking back of the things that happened in the Light of the Jedi, that's still like, we're talking about Loden right now, that we still don't have these we still have loose ends from Light of the Jedi.
Quite a few of them.
Darth Vader the Wide says, the reason I love The Phantom Menace is because it shows Anakin when he was a kid, and it makes his turn to the dark side more dramatic. I'd say so, but even like his turn it doesn't really start in Phantom Menace, does it? It just kind of shows that juxtaposition.
No, it shows him as a kid who was willing to do anything for anyone, though. I mean, can you imagine like a slave kid who loves pod racing is like, hey, I'll just give you guys my pod racer. You enter
Yeah.
in the race, and then I'll race for you. And like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you always say that the biggest problem in the galaxy is no one helps each other, and he tries to help them.
I mean, really, like, what 9-year-old is up for that?
As a 9-year-old, he was quite the outlier in general. What
Yeah.
9-year-old drives and like flies ships and stuff, and built a protocol droid
Yeah.
from scratch? Yeah. There's a
We
I don't want
must
to call him a
we
Mary
must
Sue.
assault we must assault the Theed Royal Palace. Stay in that starship. Why is he there to begin with?
Hey,
Oh,
you know what good assault on a capital doesn't include a 9-year-old boy? I mean, really, just think about it.
yeah. All right, let's move on to the next part of our discussion. Yoink. We also have to talk about the War of the Bounty Hunters. It's coming out in July 2021. If you look at here, we see Boba Fett's helmet, we see Jabba, we see carbonized Luke Han. And I do believe this is still in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Notorious bounty hunter Boba Fett has tracked his missing prize, heroic smuggler Han Solo, frozen in carbonite, to the remote, frozen world of Jakara. But representatives from many of the galaxy's most powerful factions have gathered, and they all want the same thing: Solo. Everybody wants Solo. Things go from bad to worse as Boba Fett realizes that he himself has become almost as valuable to the galaxy's hunters as Han Solo, and he must turn to the least trustworthy person in the galaxy for help: Dr. Aphra. She deserves her own show. She really does.
Yeah. Again, definitely Chloe Bennett as Afra. Although, so I hope the Powerpuff Girls is not successful, so that she can be available. I have misgivings about the very concept of that show. Anyways, but that's a whole side topic. Yeah, Afra definitely deserves her own show. I hope that this is going to give us some more context to, I want to go through this and watch Return of the Jedi with new and fresh eyes. I want this to give us hints and tips on make Luke's plan in that film make more sense. you know, Besides just I get caught, you get caught, we all get caught, and yeah, we'll see how it works out.
What's going on here? What's going on there? Anyways, that's fixed. So it looks like War of the Bounty Hunters is a comic-wide event. Kind of like Crisis. Cuz it's going to span, so War of the Bounty Hunters, it's going to have its own comic run. By Charles Soule, and Luke Ross is with the art. And then it's going to cross over with Star Wars 2020 in issue 15. Also written by Soule. Jesus. And then it's going to cross over with Dr. Aphra, issue 12. And of course, Bounty Hunters, issue 14. And Darth Vader, issue 14. This is intense.
Which also means this is going to go on for a while,
Yeah. And is, so for decades, no figure has stood as close to the Emperor with so much mystery surrounding her. Who is the Umbaran? What is her role with it? Is this Sly Moore? Sly Moore is Umbaran, right?
We don't. I don't know. We'll have to see.
And what happens when she emerges from the darkness to challenge Darth Vader himself?
Now, they say the Umbaran, but I mean, could this be an introduction to a hand of the Emperor?
Hmm.
A canon Mara Jade, if we will.
Yes. But is that her? Is this cover what they're going for? This is why I thought Slime more at first.
I mean, true. I was focused on the wrong cover. I was looking at the one where it looks like a ninja all wrapped up.
But, in the Bounty Hunters cover.
No, you're absolutely right though. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Luke's plan was literally, this is gonna look effing sick. For real, the plan to rescue Han and ROTJ is so weird. Yeah. I mean, we're getting closer and closer to these narratives in Star Wars 2020, and certainly in Bounty Hunters. And then, of course, we're going to hit on it with War of the Bounty Hunters across Dr. Aphra and across Star Wars and its own War of the Bounty Hunters. And it's going to be a great event. And we're going to see a lot of there were covers of War of the Bounty Hunters that was, of course, canonizing or bringing back Dirge.
Mm-hmm.
And this event is going to be incredible. Thank you for forgiving me. I'm so stupid. Connor, you're not stupid. It's just an honest mistake. Rise of the Planet of the Bounty Hunters. That's a mouthful. The rise of the planets for the War of the Bounty Hunters. Avra. Do you have any thoughts on this big comic event?
Sadly, no, because this is the one area I'm not fully up to date on. I'm sorry. I try. But I will need to catch up on the Bounty Hunters, and Afra was going in interesting places. I did catch up on that. But again, it's an exciting time because there's so much content going across all of these. Like with the High Republic coming out, you almost forget how much other stuff is still coming out concurrently. And so again, if there's something you don't like, that's okay. There's more stuff.
Yeah. A lot of this is happening in the original trilogy. Within the first 6. Han Talks first says, I have to head out, nerds. I will be back next Saturday. Thanks for the invite. Nice to meet everyone in the chat. Thank you for tuning in, Han Talks first. And yes, we will see you next week. Klein Sonier. Is it Sonier or Sonier? Missed all y'all. How is everyone doing? We're doing well. How you doing, Choco?
Fantastic, terrific, great.
Fantastic, terrific, great. Also, we forgot to announce in the beginning of this show, but at the very end, we are going to be doing a prequel edition Kahoot. This has become a Dyad in the Force tradition now. Last week we did a sequel edition, and then the week before that we did kind of like a mishmash entire canon quiz that I had prepared. And this one is a prequel quiz made by Darth Choco.
Yeah. So about that, apparently I have weird views on what I find to be difficult or simple. So hopefully this goes over well. If not, it might be a tough quiz, or it might be the easiest quiz. I have no idea, but it was fun to make, and I can't wait to see how y'all do.
Absolutely.
Pep Element has not taken this quiz. He did not help with the questions. So if he chooses, he can join. As can Cal Forer if he's still in here. So hopefully
Yeah.
I can see how you guys do. You guys can get to be in the hot seat this week.
I will certainly participate in this quiz, and I will certainly not participate twice. I'm not a hooligan.
Banana.
Saunier, got it. Klein Saunier is his name. In fact, Star Wars is feeding us across the entire board. Absolutely. Darth Not Vader says, I gotta go bounce. I got exams coming up, so I should probably revise. Thank you for tuning in, Darth Not Vader. Good luck on your exams. Good luck on your studying. Let's see. Darth Vader the Wyatt asks, how did Boba Fett survive the Sarlacc pit since we saw him in The Mandalorian? We may also get this canon information as well from this event. Or not, because this is Empire to Return. I don't know the time span of War of the Bounty Hunters, the comic run itself. It may cross over with Star Wars, Darth Vader, Aphra, and Bounty Hunters, but then it may kind of veer off into its own time after Return. There's just a lot of that we don't know about War of the Bounty Hunters, but the comics it is crossing over with is in between these movies, so the only chance we'll get to getting that answer from the Sarlacc pit is War of the Bounty Hunters. And whether or not they choose to kind of branch off into another time. What's up, 187th Legion? My friend doesn't like it because he thinks everything is going to be rushed and really bad.
You can't not like something because of what it could do wrong in the future. That's whack.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've seen trailers that I was like, this looks terrible. And then was promptly proven wrong. So, first impressions, of course, you'll build those first impressions, but more often than not, your first impressions is all it is at first. Yeah. Let's see here. Cal4 will be participating 4 times. Make sure I get 100%. I don't know if you'll be able to do that. I really don't. I will partake in the quiz, but I'm not sure how confident I am. I don't know.
Don't worry. I'm not even confident in my own quiz. I mean, the information is correct. The information is correct. But it is going to be possible that I don't know. We shall see. I don't know if it's easy or hard.
Yeah. We'll be fine. It'll be fine as long as your sentence syntax is grammatically clear or coherent. We shouldn't have any problems, and that's a problem a lot of quizzes
Yoda,
have.
So we'll see.
This should be an interesting Kahoot, guys. I hope you guys stay tuned for it and for the very end. Let's move on to Yoink. The first look inside Star Wars High Republic, The Monster of Temple Peak. I think this is another run. I think it's a separate run. It's a graphic novel about Ty Yorick by Cavan Scott, art by Rachel Stott. The Monster of Temple Peak. Let's look.
I'm gonna rephrase. I'm gonna take something back that I said earlier. This is going to explain her backstory, not the book.
Yeah. I mean, this makes sense. Let's look what we got here. Blarum, the Outer Rim. So we have a tree beard that looks like a tree beard. Blarum. Ty, have you found the Gundar? Oh my gosh. Are Gundarks canon?
Their existence is canon. I can't recall if we've ever actually seen one. Did we actually see one in the Clone Wars episode where Anakin and Obi-Wan get marooned while they're hunting General Grievous? I mean, not Grievous, Count Dooku. They all get captured by Hondo. But before that, they were in a cave. Did they fight a Gundark in that cave? I cannot remember.
Let's find out. You look that up while I look at these panels.
That arranged can be.
Wow, look at her lightsaber. Guys, are you seeing this on the stream? Are you guys seeing this on the stream? Look at this lightsaber. It is, first of all, it's like a 3-pronged type of like thing, right? And it's purple or violet. That's an awesome lightsaber.
That's a cool color.
The kid that is in trouble. Hey, Jedi Master DePaul, thank you for the $5. So where do you guys buy your comics from? Is it local or online? I buy them from Amazon or Comixology.
Yeah, so digital comics, especially in the pandemic, are where it's at. Although you can always, I mean, you can still go in and physically buy them. I do get physical copies of, well, High Republic Adventures. I normally have it right next to me, but I don't now. But yeah, typically digital is the way to go.
Yeah. We do have some physical copies of High Republic Adventures thanks to our good friends at IDW Publishing and Daniel Jose Older, the writer of said comics. But other than that, the digital ones are best for me, specifically because I can take screenshots, and not like for copyright infringement purposes, but to, you know, show people.
For you guys.
Yeah. Looks like that's a mother of all Gundarks. It does. It really does. But if he can confirm that we've never seen Gundarks in canon other than a mention, that would be even greater. Looks similar to Choco Saber. It does. That is a great point. Tyoric Saber. It looks like the artists stole Choco's design. Well, not really, but
it just gives me more confidence that my saber is amazing. But I already knew that because I had help from one Element 7 to design it.
Yes. Is that a wooden hilt or wooden grip?
No, I don't believe so.
Why not?
It's such a sad why not. Aww. But it could be. I don't believe it to be. But you know, I've been wrong. So I'm not going to put money on it.
Let's see here. Klein Sunye says, one of the questions on the coot better be, what does General Grievous say in response to Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi? It depends on what Obi-Wan Kenobi says prior to the response. Harith says, cracked pink reminds me of the ancient lightsaber in Vader Immortal Episode 2. That's a great point. I don't think it's a cracked crystal. I just think that this is by nature of the art style. It's like portraying the ignition or the emission like that. I don't think it is a cracked crystal at all. What do y'all think of the Star Wars book? Tommy P asks. I think it's great. I think a lot of reference books and visual dictionaries and encyclopedias are awesome. Choco has it right there.
It's near and dear to my heart. Always.
Gundarks appear in the Boba arc in the Clone Wars as well. Oh, Kieran Barr, thank you for tuning in. Welcome back. And thank you for that tidbit of information.
Yes, thank you very much. Because I could not find it, and I was like, I feel like it's there. I feel like we might have seen it, but I can't remember. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just a short little preview. She's fighting a Gundark. She's on Blarum, the Outer Rim. She's got a pink purple lightsaber with an amazing handle, amazing hilt. Oh man. I'm all up in Orla Jareni's business right now, but this could very well shift the paradigm again, given how she's a monster hunter. She's got a crazy hilt.
And a blaster that we haven't seen yet, but I'm sure it'll make an appearance.
Oh my gosh, it does look like your hilt. If we look at like this panel with like the blades going down, definitely it takes inspiration, that's for sure. The only wood saber we've seen is Gunji saber. I don't think that's true. I think there's someone in High Republic as well who has a... Doesn't Boryaga?
I feel like he does. I feel like they describe it. That we haven't seen it. They describe it when he's in his ship. But let me see here.
Klein Sonier says, gotta say, Choco's new PFP is badass. I agree.
I agree too. Thank you, Saint Pat. Saint Pat is the dude.
Saint Pat is the artist that did it. I don't know if I remember his ads on TikTok completely. Saint
Pat of Starfleet.
There's like underscores in there somewhere, right?
Yeah. I couldn't remember it, but I looked up Pat and I found him.
Yes. So Boryaga's hilt does in fact have some Roshir in it. I do remember reading about that as well. In Light of the Jedi. So there's wood in that. It's a Roshir tree. Also Orla the Grey. Stop it right now. She's Orla the Wayseeker. There's this weird fascination with trying to make gray work. I get it. You want to change the definition of gray Jedi and make it work, but like I really need like this whole fascination with it. If we want to create a new term for it, along with the new definition, then it is Wayseeker. I think we kind of... What do you think, Choco? I think we need to kind of let go of this gray.
We need to let go of the term gray completely, because it denotes to certain people using the light and the dark, which we know isn't a thing. So because of the connotations of the word, I think we just have to step away from it completely. And I think that's what we're getting here with Tayork. I did locate Boryaga's saber. I sent you an image if you were curious. But yes, it does have the Roshir in it. Which I do love how the Wookiees, how versatile it is. Like some of their starships are made of the tree. It's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us go to the main stage and catch up with chat. Will we see Grey Jedi into the dark, into the stork? Is that a troll? Is that a joke? You guys are playing with my generosity on reading all of the chat. Let's see here. I just like playing with the lore. Oh, of course, X-Core. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think like if we want to kind of create a paradigm surrounding someone who operates independently of the Jedi Order, I think Grey Jedi is definitely the term that really kind of muddies the water in terms of that definition. Like Choco said, it has connotations with it that means something about the usage of the Force. So I think Wayseeker is a completely acceptable and much better term to describe someone who is independent of the Jedi Order. And I think the connection or the attachment to the term Grey Jedi needs to go away. Okay.
Is she gonna rip the ear off the Gundark, so we can get a tie to that expression? Oh, that's what Han Solo says in the original trilogy. Like, you look like you could rip the ears off a Gundark. Was an expression.
She might. Although she might not rip, but in this panel right here that I'm looking at, she looks like she's about to do a downward stroke onto the ear and cut off the ear. Yeah, that's a good callback. Good job. Who's a good boy?
Suki's a good girl.
Fair enough. Kasha Yui says, Grey Jedi cannot happen. Look at Anakin. He was relying on both the light and dark, and he was weaker and couldn't beat Dooku because of it. He only beat Dooku when fully using the dark side. I mean, just the short of it is that you can't. The dark will always require more from you. And that's it. You have to give it more if you want more of it. You can't take what you want from the dark side, and that's it. Julia Christine says, what's her face? The secret baby lady in Dooku was referred to as a seeker. I assume that's the same thing as an adjusted term. Just an adjusted term.
I don't believe that to be the case. As seekers is the term used for the ones that bring back Force-sensitive children to the Order.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be separate. Like a way seeker and a seeker would be separate.
There are just two different things they are seeking. One seeks the way, and one wonders if one seeks the way, will they find the way and find themselves to the Mandalorian?
You said one a lot and I got confused. Okay.
For me, Grey Jedi, X-Core Gamer still says, for me, a Grey Jedi would have to give up free will to the Force. I don't know if that is possible. I don't think the Force does.
Well, I think he's referring more to like the Bendu.
Well, I mean, like specifically, like the syntax of this comment says, "Give up free will." So I'm wondering if the implication there is to just let the Force control you literally. Because that is a misconception that the Force having a will kind of goes against the idea of it imposing it, which isn't the case. The Force has a will, and that is to be in balance.
Continue. Yeah.
And that's it. It doesn't act on anything, right? It relies on the midichlorians and the people who can listen to it and hear it to act in whatever way they choose or whatever way they see fit. Which is why a lot of times the will of the Force is, it comes down to interpretation. But even if
so it's not Carrie Underwood, you don't just let Jesus take the wheel, That's
yeah. Wish I wasn't at work right now so I can keep watching. Kevin, the VOD is going to be available as soon as we're done here, so you can come back and watch it whenever you like. But thank you for tuning in and letting us know that you tried. But yeah, you wouldn't be able to give up free will to the Force. The Force would just be like, hi. And then you're like, please use my body, do with it what you will. And the Force would just be like, I'm gonna just let you lay there. I'm not gonna do anything. Yeah, I don't think the Force would ever control anybody. If the Force had a will, and could enact its will and have its own agency, it would never be imbalanced. It would see a Sith and smite the Sith and be like, stop it. You're throwing me out of balance. Do you have something to say about that? Smite the Sith?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, it's not that it would have its, its will is its own continuance, the continuance of life, and like water trying to seek some form of equilibrium. And so, I mean, yeah, you can let the force flow through you and you can trust in it, but it's not, and you can listen to it and it can tell you things to do, but it doesn't control you. So I don't know, I don't want us to spend too much time on it because I'm not sure exactly how it was meant. Um, but the force can tell you like the right time to do certain things and stuff like that. While not necessarily directly controlling you.
Yeah. Let's see here. I feel like Bendu, Kasher Yui says, I feel like Bendu is apathy incarnate. Although he has power, he does not act when it matters, and that is his weakness. He doesn't care about the rebellion or the empire. I mean, that's a great way to kind of put it, really. He's just kind of like riding the flow and the wave of the Force and just kind of, his actions do not affect the larger scope of the Force itself. Like especially when he does a Force storm in Rebels, it's very indiscriminate. It doesn't really matter what happens with it. And so his actions don't really have an effect on anything, or it doesn't really teeter the scale to one side. Over the other. I thought Bendu was basically what a great Jedi would aspire to be if they existed. I think Bendu would be what the original Jedi aspired to be.
Yeah. It's neither, not both.
Mm-hmm. the middle is its own place. Which is why there was the daughter, the son, and balance, and the father. Light, dark, and balance. Okay, so we are reaching that point in time. Let's go on to the crux of this episode, which is the true power of Palpatine. We are going to preview Darth Vader issue 11. Guys, if you guys are reading this run, it's only in a preview, but if you don't want to be spoiled, I guess close your eyes for a bit. But we are going to be talking about Darth Vader issue 11.
And real quick, I do want to address Kasher Yu's question. He says, balance in the Force is pretty confusing to me. If balance means equal dark and equal light, why does George Lucas tell the Force as the light side as objective good?
Mm-hmm.
How would you respond to that?
I want you to respond to it, but I'll just say equal light and equal dark is a misconception, and that is not balance. But elaborate further.
Yeah, definitely. If you like, let's say you look at the Mortis arc, right? We have the son and the daughter, right? The darkness and the light. They're both aspects of the greater Force itself, right? The father. The light is always helping, and it's proactive in its help of the father throughout that entire trilogy. They aren't at odds with each other. The balance isn't equal part light and dark. It's not an equal number of Jedi or Sith. The light is life, right? Think about it more on that term as like a natural thing, a natural cycle. The light being life and the dark being death, and circle of life, Lion King stuff. So it wants to continue. Death is a part of life. But yeah, the light doesn't create imbalance. It's people taking the force and bending it to their will that causes the imbalance and starts to impede the flow of the force itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the great analogy that we like to say about balance in the force is, of course, involving the flow of a river. Now, when the force is in balance, that river is just flowing. And when you've got light side users serving the will of the force and just being on the light side of things, they're going to build water mills, things that, of course, help them with their everyday tasks, but do not impede the flow of the river. It just uses the flow of the river to assist them as their ally. And the Sith, or dark side users, will build dams in the river and will block the flow of the river, making it impossible for it to flow. And that's what causes the force to become imbalanced. So we have one side that helps the flow and just uses it as an ally, and the other side that blocks it. And so that's
and
why
the Bendu has a big tube, and he's just floating down the center of that river.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why, balance in the force isn't equal light, equal dark. And it can be all light and little dark. It doesn't really matter as long as, the force itself is allowed to flow freely. The state of whichever amounts of light or dark exists it doesn't really matter. So yeah. Our community is going ham on this as well. They're providing some interesting assistance in terms of explaining this. But Kasher Yui also asks, do you think too much light side is a thing? I don't think so, but I also think that it cannot exist alone. It's a duality with the dark side, so it's always going to exist with some darkness.
Yeah, light casts shadows.
Absolutely. Klein Sonye says, "Love that analogy, very profound. Thank you very much." Let's move on to
Vader.
Vader 2020, issue number 11, exclusive preview. It is called Into the Fire, Exegol. And first of all, this cover. What?
Yeah. Don't know.
Now, I just knew that in Exegol, in The Rise of Skywalker, we had Sith Eternal. But did we really have a whole bunch of cultists with lightsabers waiting for him there? Or is this a vision?
Don't know. No clue. I got nothing on this one. But Palpatine in back in the book, the Tarkin book, is when Palpatine felt something from the outside of the galaxy calling to him. So that means that there was a presence on this planet beforehand, right? So he was responding to that. I don't know what was there when he got there. This isn't too long after that point in time. So yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see. I'm anxious to read it.
Yeah, are you up to date with Vader 2020?
Yes.
Shout out to Vanessa. But look at this preview. Okay, so he gets to Exegol. Palpatine's already there, and he is scolding Ochi of Bestoon. And Vader arrives with his pet Suma Verminoth. And he plans to kind of, let's see here, I want to see your face when I teach you what it is to fear. And it looks like things are looking kind of grave for Palpatine, but lo and behold, what the hell is going on here? Do we know what these are?
Crab people. I don't know.
All I know is they're large enough to go toe to. This is like a kaiju battle. They're large enough to go toe to toe with a Suma Verminoth. And Palpatine's like, "You've grown bold, my apprentice, but there is no threat I have not prepared for." And, well, first of all, the Suma Verminoth is kind of like, it kind of dispatches of them, but, I am no longer your apprentice. This is a heavy panel.
Yeah.
Like in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Like, really? There was this much of a falling out?
I mean, they were never friends.
No,
for
of course
sure.
not.
So, but I do feel like that is something that people kind of get twisted often. Like they were not. It was not a cordial relationship. They weren't even work friends. It was a we are going to kill each other at some point in time, but let's get as powerful as we can first.
Yeah, and this kind of recontextualizes Return of the Jedi and even Empire Strikes Back when he's like, "I must obey my master." You know, you think about like even with our conversations with Victoria Vader, going back to those conversations and kind of analyzing these quotes from Vader, you're thinking initially, yes, because he knows the power of Palpatine and he cannot go against him. But like when these recent issues of Darth Vader have placed Palpatine in such a high place of power over Vader that it is clear now why he must obey. And the last panel in this preview is Palpatine force stasis, I guess, on a Suma Verminoth. Granted, this thing is a fear monster and even got inside Vader's head when he was on his way to Exegol and just made him see all kinds of visions and was messing with his head. Palpatine's like, "Nah, bro," and then he's lifting it, and you can see the monster here. It's like confused that this frail emperor is overpowering it. Now, we don't have a lot of displays of canon feats from Palpatine kind of cementing him as the most powerful Sith, right? We do have Rise of Skywalker post Dyad energy with his Force Storm into the battle,
but we also don't know if that is also largely due to the atmosphere of the place,
right?
You know?
Yeah, and I mean, is it powerful this is why I hate scaling, by the way, but is it powerful to force strain a dyad? Like they were kind of amateurs, really, so it wasn't really a feat, to say the least. But listen, it was in the comics as well, in Legends, when we saw Palpatine kind of tear through the fabric of reality with his Force Storms. Now it's in the comics and canon.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, in Legends, he could create a Force Storm so powerful it would just destroy a planet.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the thing. But I'm also looking at the weather here on Exegol. And so the Exegol that we see when we first get into the Rise of Skywalker, is it possible that the Exegol, the storms and all that stuff was actually Palpatine's essence that was unable to go inside of the body, and that's what was causing it. Because at the very end of Rise of Skywalker, when Rey takes off, the weather is is getting kind of nice again.
Yeah. Yeah, you're kind of blowing my mind over here. Simply because also when Palpatine is finally destroyed, his essence goes and just dissipates into the air. Man, that is a great theory, by the way. Like, he did his thing, falling down the shaft. The body was like, zzz, and then he was like, oh, no, I can't. And then, like, the rest of it kind of just, like, filtered in or...
settled, like
That's
like you just cooked, I don't know, tacos, and it just kind of settles in the room, which is a wonderful thing.
That's great, because we're also looking at this Exegol and not really seeing the same thing, right? We're not seeing the same atmosphere. Are we?
No, I'm not seeing it.
It looks nighttime, a little bit cloudy, but it doesn't look the same. It looks kind of like a regular planet with Virgins, but this is a great take. This is an awesome take. And guys, Julia Christine says, give us a full weather report, Choco.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Absolutely.
I love that movie.
Jay Kenobi says Palpatine was the strongest Force user in the galaxy. He always was. I would agree after seeing this panel. Let's just bring everyone back to this panel really quick, and I could zoom in here. Look at this. First of all, this monster is a fear monster, as I've mentioned. And so it gets into your head and it starts showing things that you fear, and it messes with your psyche just like it did with Vader. And he is not being affected. In fact, he's got him in a force grip of some kind and is levitating this monster. And this monster is big. I think that little dot right there is Darth Vader. And he's not even showing any fear of it. There is no threat I have not prepared for. Which should kind of like... Oh, it is Vader. That little circle. Thank you, comic artist, for putting that circle around Vader. This thing is a kaiju. Pretty much is a kaiju. Vader is riding it. That's awesome, but Palpatine is just facing it down like it's nobody else's business, and he's, this is just Tuesday for him. And so it begs the question, like, this is why I like Choco's take on the atmosphere of Exegol being just his residual essence that have poured out of, failed strandcasts. I think this panel, what do you think? I think this panel kind of confirms it, at least for me, at least to infer that his power over Asuma Verminoth that's a huge feat in my book.
Yeah, that's nothing to shake a stick at. I mean, we just watched Godzilla versus King Kong, and imagine, like the core message of those films is that the stuff that people do isn't really that big of a deal, largely. Yeah, Palpatine would actually stand a chance.
Yeah. And now see, this is another thing that kind of like throws a wrench into the whole scaling thing. Because I think this is Palpatine's true power. I think his power is very planetary, and it's nothing to balk at, right? And of course he was only defeated because he was caught off guard and he was like, ah, crap. He got picked up and thrown down the shaft. But it
Well,
also
it also makes a lot of sense, to me. So when the prequels came out, there was a lot of backlash on what the prequels do to the original trilogy. Most people are too young to recall it, but a lot of people thought, "Oh, this ruins Anakin's journey because it means that he shouldn't have been redeemed and all this stuff." But one of the things that was said is that it ruins the Emperor because this guy who planned for every eventuality, all you had to do was just pick him up, and that's it.
Yeah.
But it does make a lot of sense that he would have some that he would have some other like plans in place, and he would have the power to do them. Yeah.
Yeah. But this also kind of places him on we'll say a rudimentary power scale, right? Because it equates him now to Yoda. Because our biggest feat from Yoda is a mountain giant that is, I would say,
True.
equivalent in size to the Zuma Verminoth. Now, so I think Palpatine and Yoda are now like the biggest displays of feats in terms of manipulating the Force enough to move or grip or levitate mountain-sized kaiju, and that is intense.
To be fair, though, I do believe Exegol is still like a dark side virgins, on top of things, but the weather system we see is Palps is what I'm saying.
I agree. I think that's a great take, for sure. Kieran Barr says Palps would beat the lizard and monkey and win with no effort. I don't know about that. Now, Godzilla and King Kong is I think it's a different beast altogether from the Sumo Verminoth. Now, Palpatine could theoretically force grip Godzilla, but Godzilla could theoretically breathe on him.
I'm not saying it would still be a fair fight, but
yeah. He could just crush them like Maul in the hyperdrive room in Clone Wars Season 7.
I will say that Palpatine did not show any fear when facing the Zillo Beast, which, we've seen Kylo Ren kill one.
Yeah. They're not that tough. Tommy P says Clone Wars and Rebels have shown blue fire to be part of Sith magic, and blue fire erupts out of Palpatine's body when he's thrown down the reactor shaft. That is true, and he also has blue fire in the World Between Worlds when he snatches Ezra Bridger's legs, and Ahsoka can cut through it. So that's a great thing. That's a great kind of thing to kind of point out. Do we have any other thoughts on this panel? I think this issue is just going to be intense. Just that evolution in their relationship, Vader and Palpatine is incredible. Even before Return of the Jedi, they were having some spats on Exegol. But to see Palpatine face off against the Verminoth and kind of cement his power, I'm interested to know if this is the final panel in that issue, or if
this is
the beginning, the second page, and like there's and then there's this huge battle between Vader and Palpatine, which we'll see Vader handily lose. And that's when he's like, I must obey my master.
And it's gonna really hammer down like, listen, Luke, you haven't seen, you have no idea the crap that I've seen and had to put up with, I am telling you, just yeah.
Yeah.
But it sounds like we might be ready for a quiz.
Yeah, we might be ready for that. The time is nearing, or the time is nigh, approaching, fast approaching. Let's catch up with the chat a little bit. Let's see here. Chris Webster, welcome to the show. You guys excited for Bad Batch? Absolutely. Next week is going to be. Is it next week? No.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we will finally have some more Order 66 time stuff. We'll see Fennec Shand, we'll see Omega and what her story is. His or her story. I don't think that has been. Is it? Have they revealed who Omega is?
Nope. Not that I've seen, although I know that there is some form of spoilers in the form of a toy. I have been able to avoid it. Do not put it in chat, please.
Yes.
And yeah, I will never forgive you if you do.
Yeah, do not put it in chat lest you want to feel the full brunt, the full force of the dyad. But yeah, we're excited. 2 weeks out. It's time for Star Wars TikTok to rise once again. And I'm just, man, when we reach that point where there's just way too much to watch, it's gonna be awesome. But it is we're running out of time. Of course, we are now shortening these episodes. It gets really, really long, and some people can't stick around for that long, and that's it's not us. It's not us who wants to be like, we don't want to spend time with you guys, but at the same time, there's a lot of people who tune in and can't stay for the whole thing. So we are going to crunch down these episodes. This is nearing the end point of this episode, so we are going to switch on over to our Kahoot stage. And I will be participating in this quiz. I have not helped at all with this quiz, so I have not seen the questions or the answers, but I will be participating, and you guys are welcome to participate as well. And yeah, just make sure you have the questions showing up on the device, right? So they don't have delay.
The questions will be showing up on the devices, so you don't have to worry about delay. But I will be reading all the questions. There's going to be 25 questions. So I'll be reading them out just in case you are listening to this and you want to see how well you would do.
Okay, what's the pin we have?
So the pin is 585-8436.
Oh, the nickname Spinneroonie. Oh, okay. I'll take that one. Good luck, guys, on this quiz. I'm gonna let Choco take over.
And Jake Kenobi, I'm not gonna start just yet. I will give some time for people to join.
Not me squinting on my phone. What's up, Maddie? Operation Stop Jesse? Really? This is the prequel edition.
Yes, if you think you know the prequels, then yeah, we would be honored if you would join us.
I'm gonna let you guess which one I am.
Oh, okay. You see, this is exactly what the banana thing was. Now you know the pressure. You know the hot seat. You know what it feels like.
I have a feeling a lot of people are going to do well. Prequels is very popular. I'm scared I might not do well. But we'll see. I've taken your quizzes before.
For anyone that doesn't know, the prequels are not Element's strong suit, so this should be interesting.
Only because I'm not like a clone guy. I love Rex, I love Crosshair, but all of that stuff it takes us to backseat to like Force lore and Jedi Order and Anakin and Obi-Wan and all that stuff.
Ooh, this is going to be a good quiz. We have a good amount of people joining.
Absolutely.
And just so you guys know when I plan to start the quiz, I have a timer here. I'm going to wait 30 seconds after. I'm doing popcorn rules, right? 30 seconds after the last person joins. So every time someone joins, I'm going to reset it. It looks like we might be sitting here at 32, but we'll wait for a bit to see if anyone else joins.
Okay, sounds good. We got 33.
We got a new join.
Let me unmute this. Do you have the music playing?
It was playing.
I mean, if that's okay. Oh, there it is. There's the music. We have 35 participants. This is crazy. This is a crazy amount.
35. This is the largest we had so far. And if it remains 35 for the next 15 seconds, we are going to start. All right, 10 seconds left. And we're capping it at 35. All right, guys, let's get into it. All right, the Choco prequel quiz. Question number 1. What does the phrase, "We are brave, Your Highness," mean? It's code for something.
Interesting question. Something I'm not privy to know.
But, I mean, you can gather from context. Or not. Yes, when she says, "We are brave, Your Highness," it is a code phrase, and it tells... So wherever Padme is in the group of handmaidens, it lets her know, yes, let's go ahead and do this thing.
Let's do this.
Again, like I said, I don't know what people find difficult. So, I'm sorry.
Kyle says, well, off to a great start.
Yoda didn't know about Padme. Is this true or false?
Oh, didn't?
Yoda didn't know about Padme.
Wow.
So I hopefully my wording didn't confuse you guys. But yeah, Yoda didn't know about Padme. And Anakin didn't give him any names. He just kind of let it. Just like, is someone close to you? But yeah, Yoda didn't know.
Guys, for saying the people who are saying it's delayed, do not follow along on the screen itself. The questions will show up on your devices, so you can see everything in real time on your device.
Yes. Who is this pod racer? Look at him. I was gonna say look at the smile, but he's actually kind of pissed at this moment. But he still looks happy somehow.
Oh man. I can't believe it.
We got a lot of Ben Quadinaros fans. And yes, all of the other names were other people pod racing that day. So, yeah.
I have no idea who that guy is.
Oh, I haven't been reading the options. That's my bad. Classy Pony is up top. All right, this comic proves that Palpatine created Anakin. Is this true or false? This is from the Vader 2020 run, the final issue.
2017.
2017, yes. All right, false. This was, that whole thing was a dream sequence. A lot of people kind of mistake it, but yes, it Palpatine did not create Anakin. This is not proof of
Wow, that was a big shift.
All right, so top 3: Agent Impala, Legend Bat, Prairie Lemming. This is exciting. I guess this is tougher than I thought it was going to be, so I'm sorry, but I'm enjoying this. Which famous actor turned down the role of Anakin?
Wow.
Which one turned down the role of Anakin?
Talk about behind
Is
the
it Hayden
scenes stuff.
Christensen? Is it Leonardo DiCaprio? Is it Jake Gyllenhaal? Or is it Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
I should have known. This is a hard quiz.
So yes, Leonardo DiCaprio was offered the role and he turned it down. I'm happy no one picked Hayden Christensen. I was trying to trick people. We have a shift. Legend Bat is now number 1. Agent Impala. Prairie Lemming is on fire now, but we got Balanced Frog and Swift Griffin kind of following up. Now, since this is a more difficult quiz, that means that this could shift at any time. You're not so much trying to be first, you're trying to be right. Which of these names is not one of Padme's handmaidens? Rabe, Sache, Erte, and Soleil.
Soleil. And for those of you saying that I'm gonna clown on you guys, no, this is a really difficult quiz. A lot of behind the scenes stuff.
I'm sorry. Sola is the name of Padme's sister, and so I thought I might throw some people off. But yeah, Soleil is not a handmaiden. But see, this can shift at any time. Stay with it. No, you guys are doing awesome. I see Master 2187. No, you're not so bad. It's all good. It is all good. Also, keep in mind, I am we'll just continue. What is Anakin's midichlorian count? Is it over 9,000, over 20,000, over 30,000, or over 40,000? All right, one last person. Feeling. Okay, yes, it is over 20,000, more than Master Yoda. Over 9,000 is a Dragon Ball Z reference, and I appreciate anyone who chose that option.
You should have made that also. You know what? Over 20,000 is over 9,000. You should have put those both as correct answers. No.
If you're being pedantic, yeah. Legend Bat, great job. Swift Griffin, Agent Impala. But we have a little bit of some switch up. Nimble Alpaca and Dr. Camel. Are those two related? Nimble Alpaca, Dr. Camel? I don't know.
Maybe.
All right, question number 8. Who is in this picture? Is it Obi-Wan and Lama Su? Obi-Wan and Tion Midden? Obi-Wan and Lot Dodd? Or goodness. Obi-Wan and Wat Tambor?
I misclicked that one.
That's all good. I decided, I was like, okay, I gotta add Obi-Wan because someone's gonna get cheeky and but yes, that is Tion. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Tion Midden is what I say. But yeah, woo! We have a switch. Swift Griffin is now up top. Agent Impala, followed by Legend Bat.
I am so far behind.
All right. During the Battle of Geonosis, Anakin was given a spare lightsaber to use. What color was it? Was it green, red, blue, or gold? Okay. Awesome. A lot of people got it correct with green. And I was trying to trick people by making all of the things different than the colors. But I didn't fool anyone with that. Hey, I've missed questions.
I need
because
to
of that.
watch the prequels again.
All right, Swift Griffin, great job. Okay. Who tried to sell Obi-Wan death sticks? Is it Elon Sleaze Pagano, Orin Douche Bagaroo, Neville Jerk Wadigo, or Rick Moronicle?
I like the name Moronicle.
The Moronicle son returns.
Yes.
All right, Elon Sleaze Pagano is correct. My favorite was Orin Douche Bagaroo. I thought of that name, and that's what prompted me to add the question. So, woo, we got some switch it around. Swift Griffin still up top. Agent Impala here. Nimble Alpaca at number 3. Legend Bat. So top 4 has been pretty solid, but Super Cheetah just popped up to number 5. All right, true or false? This is Captain Panaka. Is that true or false?
Quash. Wait a minute.
That's correct. It is false. That was Captain Panaka's nephew, Gregor Typho. Gregor Typho, you see him in Attack of the Clones, but yeah, that was not Captain Panaka.
Yeah, I'm not clowning on anybody on this one. This is a tough quiz. And
Thank you, everyone that's sticking with it.
Made me realize that it's been a long time since I've watched the prequels. Because I only ever watched Revenge. And
What is the
Attack.
age difference between Padme and Anakin? Is it between 4 and 5 years, between 8 and 9 years, between 6 and 7 years, or between 2 and 3 years? Perfect. They were between 4 and 5 years. She was
9.
14 and he was 9. Yes. And I did between, so you guys got the grace period. But yeah, great job, everyone. Let's see if we have any swaps. Ooh, Swift Griffin still up top. Agent Impala. Rapid Raven is flying up the ranks. Nimble Alpaca and Legend Bat. Again, everyone, stick with it because you never know. This one, there's a lot of shifts here. What number are we on, Carter? We are on number 13. Who said, I have a bad feeling about this in Revenge of the Sith? Anakin, Obi-Wan, Padme, or C-3PO?
Oh my god, really?
Obi-Wan said, I have a bad feeling about this in the intro scene when they're flying into the invisible hand.
I should have watched the prequels before this.
But Anakin says, this is where the fun begins. All right.
Julia lost her streak.
Oh. All right. Name this bounty hunter. Is it Zam Wessel? Is it Changeling? Is it Kato Parsati? Is it Bazine Natal?
Oh. Right, because Zam is
yes. It is Zam Wessel. Great job, everyone. Okay.
This is a quiz for the fans.
Swift Griffin is killing it up top here. No changes this time. What does Mace Windu's purple lightsaber mean? Does it mean that Mace bled his crystal? Does it mean nothing? Because lightsaber meanings have never been a part of canon?
Jesus. I could have answered that so much quicker if I didn't have to read that.
That is correct. So the idea that Mace uses both the dark and the light side is not part of canon. It's technically, it's not actually part of Legends either. But Great job, everyone. Let's see if there's any swaps. We got Cute Wombat, who just popped into number 5. All right, number 16. How old is Obi-Wan in The Phantom Menace? 17, 20, 23, or 25 years old?
Oh, wait. Oh, no. The Phantom Menace.
That is correct. He is 25. All right, great job, everyone. Let's see. Agent Impala just took number 1.
Yeah, I'm not catching up.
True or false? No one can kill a Jedi.
Are we okay? This is confusing. Is it true that he said it?
Oh, that's a great question. Is the statement true? Because like the words are on it. It is false. You can kill a Jedi.
Okay.
As
confusing.
Anakin would grow up to do. But yeah, you're right. I will I really wanted Cal to be able to take it, so that's why I didn't ask him to preview it, but I'll definitely have him do so next time. All right, Legend Bat just popped in. All right, number 18. Which character is not in The Phantom Menace? Aura Singh, Quinlan Voss, Gardula the Hutt, or Bosk? 3 of these characters make a cameo.
Yeah, I know that Aura was in the pod race.
Yes. And all of them were on Tatooine, but except for Bosk. Awesome. Great job, everyone. Let's see if we have any swaps. Yes, we do. I didn't say who dropped out, but this is interesting. This turbulence. 3 players have reached an answer streak of 5. So great job, guys. 19. What species is Newt Gunray? Is he a Bith, a Duros, Nine-Boynian, or a Mune? Awesome. Great job, everyone. I threw in Duros because Nine-Boynians actually look a lot like Duros.
Yeah.
But alas, they are not. Okay, no change in the leaderboard. Question 20. What is Count Dooku's Sith name? Darth Tyrion? Darth Saruman? Okay.
that was a gimme for sure.
I get asked that question a lot on my TikTok. So, all right, we got a little swap here between Legend Bat and Nimble Alpaca. All right, Darth Maul has black skin with red tattoos or red skin with black tattoos. That is correct. He has red skin and all the black portions are what is tattooed. And no change in the leaderboard.
I don't think it's possible for me to come back.
Which of the following is correct? I should have extended the time on this one.
What the hell?
See, people knew. I thought this was a gimme, but I should have put more time on this question.
On the phone, it was like the answers were overlapping.
Oh, okay. Well, it is. I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.
I have outlandish pancakes.
All right. Awesome job, everyone. Question 23. What type of creature is this? Is that an Acklay? Is that a Reek? Is it a Nexu? Or is it a Viractyl?
I'm having fun. I don't care if I'm getting things wrong.
Hey, it's a journey. All right, the correct answer is a Reek. The other two animals with him were an acklay, that was the praying mantis thing.
Mhm.
The Nexu was the cat thing that likes to rip people's shirts to make them sexy. And a Varactyl is what Obi-Wan rides in the following movie.
Boga.
Ooh, we got some shifting here. Agent Impala still number 1, Swift Griffin number 2, Cute Wombat number 3. Question 24. Where did Anakin say angels come from? Malastare, Oricon, Edu, or Iago?
I thought they said Lego.
Lego. Yes, they come from the moons of Iago. And this is also confirmed in the Clone Wars, where we actually get to see one.
Okay.
All right. Agent Impala, number 1. Swift Griffin, number 2. Diligent Dragon popped up at number 3. We got Super Cheetah, number 4. Cute Wombat as number 5. And we are down to the final question. All right. You guys ready? Let's do this.
Where the hell do angels come from? Italy.
What species is General Grievous? Utai, Nogri, Powan, Kalish.
Every time I think I answer fast, I always hear a couple of pops before I get to tap on it.
All right, that was the final question. Let's check out this podium. Third place, got 20 right, Diligent Dragon. Second place was Swift Griffin. And first place, in our number 1 spot, is Agent Impala, who got 23 out of 25. That is awesome. All right, people in the chat, who's who? Who is Agent Impala? All right, Levi Bond was Griffin, Swift Griffin. Awesome, excellent job, man. Julia Christine, I was really killing it until the damn creature question. Oh, Levi, you misclicked on the Obi-Wan age question. No, that was awesome.
Who's Impala?
Cardu D2 went from 1st to 14. Carter, what was your name on it? Diligent
Fern.
Dragon.
Fern
is
was
Fern.
Yeah.
Number 3. Awesome. Great job.
Who is Agent Impala? Tommy P, is that you?
Tommy P says it. Says I am Agent Impala. I don't know why, but I don't believe him. But no, looks like it is Tommy P.
Very nice, very nice. Congratulations to our winners. You guys get our love and respect. We have to start thinking about some, like, I'm probably gonna have to, like, get some stickers so that I can do something with those for people who win our quizzes. Good job to Darth Choco. That was a very, very difficult quiz. Very intricate details. Nothing like what was Anakin's name? But definitely very, very esoteric questions in the prequel era.
Okay. So Sawyer says no more Choco quizzes. All right, from now on, I will write my quizzes with the help of someone else.
We should probably do them together. I think we should always be both proctoring them instead of participating in them.
Levi Bond, the base question was dirty.
Where did I place? I placed. It doesn't say where I placed, but I only had 11,300. A lot of the ages and the number questions, I either misclicked or just did not remember.
And so that's why I don't know the difficulty, because I feel like, at least for me, it's either I know it or I just don't. Like, there's no guessing. There's no, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of them I had to guess, to be quite honest. I mean, some of them I knew outright, but yeah.
Are people in the chat on a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult was that quiz? And on that same scale, follow up with how difficult you would like these quizzes to be. Now, when we do our actual trivia tournament, it's going to get hard. But yeah, what do you guys think? I gotta say though, I do like it being difficult because it made it very volatile. Like you could jump up or go down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before, I was just trying to go really fast because I was like, we're all gonna know it. This is a speed thing.
Wow.
Okay, so you guys thought this was a between a 7 and a 9 out of 10, and where should it be at? Where
Wow,
would you
Cal
like-
says it was a 10 out of 10 difficult. Very interesting.
Tommy P, it was a 4 out of 10. My dude.
Oh, Jack Brody, you did miss it. Just for future reference, guys, our episodes are going to be aiming for an hour and a half or even less. So if you want to be a part of the Kahoot quizzes that we do at the end, make sure you're around at least towards the hour and a half mark whenever we start. If it's on Saturday, it's going to be around 6:30 Pacific, and if it's on Sunday, it's going to be around 3:30 Pacific. We should probably work together on these quizzes for sure. There was another one that like took me really long, which was, is this statement true, or is it true that he said this statement? Because the picture of him saying it was like, but that's true, he said it.
But I feel like since the words were literally on the picture, then you know that he said it. I don't know. But
yeah, it was just
right,
confusing
right.
as to what you
I
meant,
could
though.
clear it up.
Guys, you don't have to rub it in that you beat me. It is okay. The prequel era is definitely my weakest area. But I think next week is the original trilogy.
Yes.
So we are going to
we will work on that together.
Tommy Pizza. Yeah. Tommy Pizza, I just realized Elman's background is Hosnian Prime about to get exploded. Yeah. It is it is tragic. But I just liked how it looked.
Oh, it does make for an epic background, the whole color scheme. Plus it makes me feel bad for what's her face? I want to say Char, but that's not it. Leia's aide that we see go to this planet, who turned on her at the end. Bloodlines. Sid? No. Well, anyways, doesn't matter. And Cal did clarify that this test was 7 out of 10 for difficulty, and he wants 10 out of 10.
Oh, okay. But we can't do a 10 out of, like, really? Like, how many teeth does the Dianoga have? We can't, like... I see, element style quizzes always are progressive, but with Kahoot, the questions are randomized, right? So our difficulty can show up at any given point. I like putting in gimmies. I like putting in really tough ones, and I like putting in some book stuff.
And also, I want to say thanks real quick in the chat to both Levi Bond as well as Julia Christine. Coruscella was Leia's aide. She called her Corey. And
right.
You get to see her close up right when the planet is going bye-bye. So,
oof. And she's the one that was like, at first when the revelation was revealed, she, like, I don't know, turned against Leia temporarily.
Let's see here. I have in the chat, Jake Kenobi says, "Guys, finish the quote. General Grievous, you're
Bold. You're bold, right?
taller than I expected."
Oh, wait, that Anakin, right.
But I mean, it just says General Grievous, you're.
Anyone in the top 3 say in general of the Discord, please. All right, guys. So this is where we're at the end. Do you have any final thoughts?
Shorter than I expected. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. My bad. But you know I was thinking it. But thank you, Jesse. There should be a quiz about the ascendancy as they are superior. Yes, I got it. See, I would have got that question wrong because maybe that question's going to be on the next quiz.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho,
yeah.
For closing thoughts, super exciting times. I like that we got to finish that we got to focus on a lot of the printed media. We don't feel like we get to do that a lot. And I like that we just got to hang out with you guys here in chat. Yes, we will make a Clone Wars quiz as well at some point. And maybe a Bad Batch quiz at the end of the show. So you guys better be watching it.
Absolutely. We'll have a Clone Wars, Bad Batch, and then a clones quiz. Specifically for the clones themselves. Everybody from Rex to Fives to Echo to Heavy to everybody.
Hey, so Elman and I have not talked about this at all, but what if for our trivia competition, we actually separate the quizzes like this and the winner goes to overall score?
Overall score? Oh,
yeah.
like
cumulative, like we add up the scores.
And,
so we can have a separate one for Clone Wars, separate one for Rebels. Different people are going to have different strong suits, and I don't know. We'll talk. We'll talk about things as we kind of formulate this. I think I actually have a better idea than that.
But for sure, like a Rebels quiz, as people are saying in the chat, will be a good idea. It'll get people to maybe perhaps start watching it in preparation so they can win a lightsaber. But then they end up saying, "Hey, Rebels is a great show." All right, guys, let's shout out people in the chat who have been with us through thick and thin, who have participated in the Kahoot quiz. Congratulations to Tommy P, Agent Impala, Fern, Diligent Dragon, and anyone else who placed on the quiz. Thank you so much for participating. We have, let's see here. 187th Legion, Brooke, Brian with the Beard, Cal 4, Cart 2D2, Kieran Barr, Klein Sonier, Harith, Jake Kenobi, Julia Christine, Levi Bond, Master 2187, Mentally Ill Sith Lord, Star Wars Lawyer, Tommy P, and X-Core Gamer Skills. Thank you guys so much. Did it show him? Okay, yes it did. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Dyad in the Force. This has been episode 25. It is the end. On to the next one. And
we are all the Republic.
For light and life.
And may the Force be with you. Always.